Lo siento, mi amigos, pero I'm back. Undead Unluck chapters 148 and 149, and a quick update about Undead Unluck 2022 Part 2. Let's make a short story long, actually. You know, life's a lot like a JRPG. On this quest to attain your goals, you're gonna have to accrue a lot of materials, resources, and key items in order to, get the job done. And one of those resources, currency, money. I didn't have enough to attain this key item, which was a hard drive, and I ran out of space while on this quest to make this video, so I had to accrue said currency in order to attain said hard drive, and now I got said hard drive, so now we're back in business. Let's get to it. Undead Unluck chapters 148 and 149 in 2022 part 2, it's coming. And during my 1 week hiatus, Yoshifumi left a voicemail.
It don't cost nothing to show the love.
I didn't say it, Yoshifumi did. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new here. We appreciate all of the support, y'all. So I'm not gonna lie to you. Chapters 148 and 149 have been interesting to me, especially following a really fire 147, and that is for one reason. I'm kind of over this war stuff. Honestly, this is probably all up to personal preference. However, the whole thematic thing of war, whether it be in video games, whether it be in media, I just kind of don't like it. I don't care for it much. I think Tanya in the Saga of Evil is some fire wartime stuff. Attack on Titan, some good wartime stuff. However, outside of that, I kind of hate war. Call of Duty, don't play that. I don't play first-person shooters at all. If you catch me playing a shooting game, it's going to be Splatoon, my guy. So yeah, this whole thing with the war has just been kind of getting me not interested in it. And aside from that, I'm not saying Yoshifumi is writing anything bad right now. However, this has just been, in personal preference, less hype than what was going on beforehand. Everything with Void, everything with Gina, it was some really good content. And I think that this war arc so far has just been kind of ham-fisted together. Like 3 Negator introductions back to back to back. I know Fuko had told us we're gonna see a sequential thing, but I don't know. I think we were seeing a lot of peak Undead Unluck, and I think we're seeing a lot of 8 out of 10s right now, and that's okay. Because Sean's chapter, which happened today, kind of was fire. I didn't like the war part, however, as we're gonna go into in a second, Sean's backstory and just getting a lot more character development for this lad was really fun. I'm going to start off with 149 instead of 148 just in case people want to hear about today's chapter first. However, I might skip over some of the war parts because I genuinely don't care about talking about Creed shooting at shields. We get introduced to the son of the 4th Hokage, Sean Datz, Unseen, a self-targeting compulsory type negator. And as we learn about his father Minato, we see that the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Sean just wants to be like his pops, but he wants to be better. He wants to be an actor like him, but he wants to be seen, not just be a side character. He wants to be the main guy, the person that people recognize, the person that people know, the person that people see. And it's crazy, because God plays this childish ass trick on him. This was seriously like a vine.
Ba, abracadabra, kaboom.
Alright. Oh, snap.
Jaden! Oh my god, I actually did it.
But when we get back to the present, we see the sort of conviction Sean has. He's not ready for that main character role. He's creeped up, tight in the ball, hiding behind the shields, which Unbreakable had placed last chapter, and he is not ready for the smoke. This dude who had told Fuko in the previous conversation, hell yeah, I'll come out there if you really need me. That's all he really wanted to do. He just wanted to He wanted to feel needed, feel seen, feel like somebody who was necessary for the plan. And that's what Fuko had even told bro. Fuko told him, yeah, bro, you're a center part of this plan. We kind of would appreciate you. But Fuko, an empathetic woman. She's not going to force anything upon anybody. I'm talking too fast through this. But Sean's conversation with Fuko was hilarious. I liked a lot of the characterization it gave to this dude, and it just made me appreciate a lot more why everybody loves him in this series. I saw a lot of people talking on Reddit, on Twitter, yeah, this is why Sean's my favorite character, and I feel y'all. Sean is a funny dude. I think Yoshifumi knew he had to make this character a very likable dude, because for some reason, Undead Unluck fans love them some Unseen. It's easy to see why a person like Sean just can't be a main character, and it's nice to see how he has this realization throughout the chapter that people like his dad, people like himself, who actually have other people to care about, other reasons to want to live aside from, the ego, selfish-driven motivations which a lot of people live by. you can be happy doing anything. Just being a part of the team, being a part of the gang is something which you should always be happy to do. But right here, Sean is still nowhere near that point. Taking a note from the strongest Joestar, Sean tried to run away from battle. And it's interesting how the Union emblem doesn't go invisible. As we had learned earlier, Sean, whenever he closes his eyes, he and everything which he believes he owns becomes invisible. So at this point, he just still doesn't feel like he's wanted or needed by the Union. He doesn't feel like they truly need him there, because there's all these super crazy, supernatural individuals with these crazy powers, and all he has is something which gangbangers and people in that realm have been using. And that's some of the interesting things we continue to learn about Sean and why he ended up in that situation. Creed, just doing Creed things, hailing an onslaught of weaponry over at the Union, is troubling them a little bit. And during this moment, Sean has this moment of realization. After being called a miscast by Creed, he thinks back to when things all started. At the audition for Dead Gang 2, a follow-up to the film which his father had actually been in. He's auditioning for that star role, believing that he's going to be a perfect fit. He studied so much for this. However, this is when his ability manifests itself. Every time he started to blink, he went invisible. And they're like, how the heck are you doing this? And that's when he realized, I am unseen. I can never be seen again. The only thing I've been trying to strive for, to attain in my life, my one goal, it's unattainable now, completely gone. And this one hit me hard. Like, I don't have the same goal. I don't care. I just make YouTube videos for fun. I fucking love this series. It'll be cool to make some money. Yeah. However, it's crazy. The same vein of Tella, the one thing that truly brought you passion for life, the one thing he was working really hard towards to develop and hone his craft around, just gone, extinct. And that's what drove him to wanting to still be seen. And what he turned to in order to be seen was these gangs and just being used. And that's the sad thing. Anybody who feels like they're part of something can feel like they're the main piece. And he was obviously an invaluable asset to these mobs, these gangs, because a person can literally go invisible. He can steal anything. He can kick people's butts. I'm not allowed to say those words on YouTube. You know what I mean? He can do whatever he wants. That's a very valuable asset in the dark underworld. You know what I mean? And that's why he felt like he was finally somebody who was part of the gang, a main character. But Fuko, Azumo, Superwoman, Power Girl, whatever you want to call her, because she's literally the GOAT of this loop, talks him off the ledge, tells him that you just have to be you. As long as you're fulfilling your role, as long as you're working hard, hey, it doesn't matter what other people are thinking. The people who are a part of that, the people who you're working with, they know you are a main character. Everybody's a main character. That's why people, they don't only love Straw Hat Luffy, Mugiwara. They love Zoro. They love Sanji. They love Nami. They love anybody. And that's it. Not everybody has to be a star. We can all just, bask in the greatness of our own lives. And that's a beautiful little message. I like Sean's backstory, and I like these developments right here. Sean's ability works as when he closes his eyes, he turns invisible. Everything which he sees as his own is also invisible. However, this loop, those powers have expanded. Due to him not losing his memories, due to him not becoming hardened by that gang life he lived, those countless years probably, where he was just hurting individuals, hurting himself, and just feeling wanted for the wrong reason. He remembered what his dad had told him, and he remembered the same reason why his dad loved who he was, why he was proud of being a side character, why he was just proud to be a part of the team, because he's making it work. He's making things work, and that's what Sean realizes. As long as I can make things work for other people, help them out, then I am literally the main character of my life, and that's what he does. Now, able to expand his ability to others that he is touching, he lets Fuko come in. They sneak around Creed and hit it with a Tetsu Zanko. And that boy Creed.
What do you mean by that?
Fire shit. Like I said, I can't fake it. I don't care about this war stuff. I genuinely don't. The fights right now aren't doing it for me. I liked Void's fight a lot. I love Gina kicking people's butt a lot. Everything in the second loop has been hot for me, except for these past couple chapters in terms of their action, and that's when I have to hone in on for chapter 148. And don't get mad at me, I'm genuinely about to rant. I'm not even really going to talk about this chapter in terms of summarization. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on it. But I just didn't really care for it much. I'm not saying it was a bad chapter. This fool Yoshifumi doesn't write bad chapters. But it just wasn't my favorite. I read other stuff every week, and that was like one of my least favorite chapters. Whenever Undead Unluck is always my favorite chapter every week. That's kind of as simple as I think about it. I just think the fact that whenever we have sequential negator manifestations, we have Tella, then we had Creed, and now we have Sean. If I look at all three of those in a row, I liked Creed's the worst, and that's kind of how I feel. The second loop, the next loop, whatever the hell, it's been really freaking good. A lot of high moments and just a lot of hypeness. And I think this was the least hype chapter for me. It was fun to see Yusai hit him with a chink hard. It was fun to see Fuko go play tag and literally just ruin the world. Like some good stuff. However, I just didn't care for what happened, especially in terms of Creed's negator manifestation. That was the most forced manifestation of the entire series. Definitely made me take negator manifestations slightly less serious, just because like it just happens. That's why I joke around. I say God's just playing pranks on fools, and that's what I really care about now, man. When do we get more information on this fool Kami? Because I know he's pissed off that Fuko is just making things go perfectly straight down the line. I hope in between maybe this arc finishing and the next arc, we get some interesting like real stuff happening. Wherever like Apocalypse is like, oh, we all messed up now. Luna calls down to us and reveals some wild stuff like something. But yeah, I really didn't talk much about 148, but Creed's negator manifestation sucked. IMO. Might be a touchy take for an Undead Unluck YouTuber, but I love this series more than anything. I've tattooed Fuko's name on my forehead. I'm kidding. I'm just saying bullshit. Nonetheless, I really appreciate all y'all. These weren't my favorite 2 chapters, but I love Undead Unluck, so we talk this shit. And I love everything about this series, so you can't get mad about 2 chapters. But Sean, his backstory carried some stuff. Minato Uzumaki, I love you, bro. The Hokage. I'm out of here.